Hello everyone. So you all might have got my last video about inheritance and method overloading. We will continue from there today, right? So let me share my screen before starting the session. My screen is visible to everyone, right? Here it goes the same eclipse. Right? We spoke about method overloading, how it is working. Method overloading is part of polymorphism, right? Static polymorphism. Right? So we'll discuss what is method overriding, how it happens. And like yesterday, I told you something about you know inheritance also multiple and multi-level. So in Java, always we support multi-level inheritance, and multiple inheritance is not there. Even if multiple inheritance is there, like let's say in my first class, it what it can do, it can implement. It implements. I can add multiple interface here. A, B, right? So I can add multiple interface here in this particular, like the interface which we created in my last session. We created A interface, right? We created B interface, we created C interface. You see, I'm able to add multiple interface, right? The only the only difference here is in adding multiple interface is not having any definition. That means we are not inheriting any definition. We are just inheriting the method name or the identification of that method. See, no definition is inherited. So when we inherit the definition of a method, that is actually called inheritance. So in Java, we only support multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance is basically fetching the method name. That's all. Okay. So let's go to the method overriding. I will discuss about method overriding. What I will do, method overriding, I will create one more package like inheritance. You know what I did it here. So similarly, uh, in that I will define method overriding. Yeah? Let me see. I already have one session. Do I have method overriding there? If it is there, I will show you from there itself. Yes, polymorphism is there. A.java, AE employee, employment class persons. Let's see what I have here. Same interface. The employee is employees interface. For example, I have here. Okay, way better. I will write and I will create a new one so that you all will understand it, right? Let's create here a new package. Com dot example dot polymorphism. Now our heading is called as dynamic polymorphism. So I have closed all to make it clear. Dynamic polymorphism. Yes. So let's create an interface, right? Called employee. Let's create one more class. This class I'll give. Let's take a situational scenario. Many companies we have, they have parent organization and child organization, subsidiaries. right? Let's talk about a company called A, right? So it has let's talk a company of a brand. It has one subsidiary called A, the other subsidiary called B, the other subsidiary called C, right? And they want to segregate their employees' information. A employees should be identified by A employee, B employee should be identified by B employee, C employee should be identified by C employee with their company brand name, right? Whatever the brand they have. So accordingly, I will create here. So when you are developing application in Java, so let's say different attribute they will have for A company, B company, and C company for the employees. We will have different object for them, right? So let's create A employee first. Let's create another class called B employee. Let's another class called C employee. Huh? Okay. So your class here A employee, B employee, and C employee. So let's go to A employee implements what employee, huh? The interface. Let's all of them implement the employee interface, right? So if you see the structure of this particular, if you see the structure of this particular, what I will do, I'll just open a very old tool called MS Pen to show you the structure of this particular class. Rather going online and searching a tool to do crash jam is okay, but here, if we can do it, let's do it here. This is a very old when I used to take when I was, training in one of the organizations for some time along with my job. It's very old days in time in the year of 2006 or 7 or 8 the time. Uh, so PowerPoint is the thing we used to show them to prepare this kind of diagram, or maybe using star UML, or maybe using IBM RSA, and we'll show them. See, now say 2025, you have so many online tools. That time online tools were not available. No need of worrying about that. You are just here to learn how to write program. Right? This is our employee. And then we'll have a employee. Then we'll have the then we'll have the employee. Right? Now I will create one more here. That class I have not created, but I'm thinking to give an example by creating that also. I'll create another here. Huh? Let's say that class will be D employee. This will inherit not from the interface, but this will inherit from the, let's say, C employee. What is there? Why this line is not coming? No, this is how it is looking now. This is what we are going to implement in today's session. I will to explain you how runtime uh, things works and what is overriding, how you can override a method while inheriting. So while inheriting, if you override the method, what will happen? It will change the definition of the old method, and how you can also include the definition of the old method along with the new method, right? So we'll talk about that, and maybe after this polymorphism, I will talk about constructors. That is also another good part of Java. How why we need constructor, how the object is created using new operator. All this will come in that place, right? And also the public static what I explained earlier. That static concept also will come there. So see, this is what we are going to learn today. Coming back to our class, I shall go to interface. So in interface, I'll have few methods, right? I'll have few methods public string, public string, get employee details. Okay. So here what I will do as I told earlier, we will have one Java bin which will hold the setter getter or which will hold the data, right? So here I will create a Java bin also, that is employee bin. It's very easy for us to handle the things. Okay, this simpler class is there. So what I will do rather creating, I will just take it from here, huh? Copy paste it from here, the simpler class to that employee class into employee. So these are the properties we have. We will generate the capacitor. Right? So this is the employee, and in employee interface, I will what I will do get employee details. Right? That is employee bin. It will return employee bin, and your input parameter will be, let's say, employee ID. So what is the ID here? It is string or yeah, it is string. So we'll pass employee ID as string. We'll pass the employee ID and we'll get the details, employee details. This is what the method signature. Now we'll find, I will write another method public double get employee salary, right? So here we'll get the employee salary again based on the employee ID. Looking public double, or maybe what we'll do, we will get public, what else we need to get string, that is designation of the employee. Get employee designation. That is also based on string employee ID. One method, more method I will add, though I have not taught you array, but I will have one more method to show you how it works. Yeah, public double by employee name, get employee salary by employee name. So when you get employee salary by employee name, get employee salary by employee name. Right? So when you get employee salary by employee name, you might get, you know, salary of multiple person, right? Employee ID is always a unique identifier. You'll have only one ID for a person, not multiple IDs. But there might be person with same name, in the database with different IDs. So we'll define here a list. It will return a list. It will return a list which will have list of employees that will that will return the salary. Employee name with salary. And have list of employees. So this is what the employee interface we have. Let's go to AE employee. And now, since we are implementing this interface and this is a class, right? This is a class. AE employee is a class, so it need to implement all the method of definition of interface. Otherwise, this class will no more a class. So let's say if I remove this, if I make it as an interface, what happens? Or if I make it as an abstract class, what happens? Still, then I have to implement the methods, right? What is an abstract class? Abstract class will have at least one method not implemented. Let's say in an abstract class you have many methods. At least one of the method is not implemented. Then that class will called as abstract class. Let me override. No, let me implement all the methods. Why this error is there? Syntax error token public. Okay, we will remove the class, right? Yes. So let's add unimplemented methods here, right? You see all the unimplemented methods are added here. How many methods we have? Okay. All the methods we got it here. So let me implement one. Implement one method here. We'll take this employee bin. Go to employee class. We'll just populate it manually. We will return this employee. We'll populate this employee bin, right? We'll populate this employee bin with the information dot set employee department, employee ID, employee salary, employee type. So there is no name in employee bin, so I will add one more, right? We'll add private string employee name, right? We'll add employee. See, in Java, one more of the rule for the defining the variable employee and name are two words. The first word starts with small and with small, and the second word will start with capital letter. And if you have third word, that will start with capital letter, and all other letter will be small. So this is what the one of the rules to define variable in Java. Camel, which they call as camel coding style. They call it as, right. So here now, even if I have defined, it will not be visible. So I have to generate a setter getter for it, right? Employee name. Setter getter is generated. Now let's go to AE employee dot set employee name, right? Let let me add my full name here. This company will identify or complete database will have always full name, and some company they will have preferred name or nickname, that is Satya, right? Set employee ID. Let's say aim 1 2 sorry 1 2 4 8 7 8 1 3 A1. Let's say this is the employee ID, right? Dot set department, technology, innovation. Let's set salary. Salary. Uh, let's say something. Start. Right? So how many stars will give? It will be some lakhs of rupees, right? Okay. So we give stars dot set employee type, you know, permanent. Okay. Employee type is permanent. We have defined it as one or two, right? So one is permanent, two is contractor, something we have defined here, right? These two, okay, employee type. We have defined, but we have not written it here. Let's say one is permanent and two is you contractor. I'll just mention it here, right? So employee being is set. Here get salary. If you know employee ID. Here you to write the fetch, you know, salary fetch code. Since I am not connected to any database, I will show you by just having a if condition here, right? Equals to employee ID. Right? So whatever the salary we have equals to this. And salary is something I'll put. Okay. This is what employee ID. Why it is giving some error? Let's see. What we will do rather returning double will make it string. It will be easy for us. Right? And return there is not that ID is not available. No match. Employee not found. Employee ID. Let's let's go with this approach so that everyone can understand it, right? Employee designation. Similarly, if that employee ID is found, then get the employee designation. Otherwise, don't get the employee designation. Right? Here also you have to fetch the code from the database. Fetch from the Here also employee ID not found. So employee ID not found if the ID is not matching or not found. Otherwise, return the designation, right? Mm, okay, so this is how it is going to be. Same thing here. Get employee salary by employee name. Get employee salary by employee name. This also will implement. Let's go to the interface. Once this ID, let me make it a small. This C, let me make it small, right? Yeah. Come back to here. This is string, this is string, and this I made string, right, to make it more flexible. That get employee salary return type I made string to make it more flexible. Unreachable code. Why it is unreachable? It should not be unreachable. If it is not matching here, it should come to end. And if I have this equals to this, then return this. If it is not equal to this, what will happen? Oh yeah, it is unreachable because I have given a comma at the end of the I've given a semicolon at the end of the if condition. So this is another rule. While taking another session for this if else switch all these statement I will tell there. At the end of if you put a semicolon, the statement will end there. The if condition will end there. It will not look that the next line is also part of if. So if I remove this, see this not reachable code is gone, right? Now error is gone. If you come to down, it is also same there because I copied and paste it here in 33 line number. If you see, it is also the same thing. If I remove this code will be reachable because the below line under the if that will be part of if, and if it is not getting inside the if condition, by default it will return the other statement which is in line number 36. So now let's come to the line number 40, which is get employee salary by employee name, string employee name, right? So here you have to implement by employee name. Why I have taken the employee name to show you that it matches with, it fetches multiple employee salary by multiple because of multiple employee name found in the database, right? So let's take this piece of code there. No, not this piece of code. We have to write it need, right? So let's say if fetch, I'm getting a call. Let me pause this. I put it on the yeah, fetch from DB. If employee name matches. Content equals basically if it content, you know, let's say Satya, catch all that. Let's say not Satya, if it content something ABC. You know, guys, this is not my employee ID. This is a dummy employee ID. I put it here, and I'm not working anywhere, so don't consider. I don't have salary. I don't have an employee ID. I'm not working here. Still, I'm looking for job. Some people are getting confused that I'm working. I'm not working. You can visit my LinkedIn profile. You will find the information about myself, about my professional career. So if mate matches ABC, then what we will do? We will return some employees. You know, what we will return? We will return the salary of employees. We will create employee bin object and return this salary along with the name. So here I put everything. We will not return the ID. We will return salary and the name. I will have one more. Right. So this is another employee. We'll create a list because we're returning a list here. We'll create a list. For that, there is something called generic. We'll discuss about that when we're talking about collection about the list. Just for the time being, for the time being, just keep this much in mind. The list and get a list here. List without using generic. The old style of implementing array list. In line number 50, I will add this first employee into the array list, right? This is employee. And in line number 54, I'm adding the second employee, right? So this is how I added two object, this thing to this place. See, people might be getting confused. Employee bin, I created the same bin again. I created here new in line number 51, right? The same bin I've created again in line number 51. That's why it will not have any issue. See, in line number 47, if you come, I'm writing employee bin, new employee bin. And then in that employee bin, I'm doing set employee, set salary, that same thing I'm setting to employee list into the array list. Again in the line number 51, I'm using the same employee bean, rather creating a new employee bean variable or class variable. I'm using the same class variable name and assigning a new object to that, new employee bean object to that. Because the old employee bean object already is stored in employee list. So I'm creating a new and assigning to the variable. And in that variable, that new class variable employee bean, that's I'm again setting the name and the salary, you know, and adding it to the again employee list. All these are references. We will talk about memory references. We will be talking about string classes, how object stores in heap memory, and what is string pool, and how this memory works, right? JVM memory works. We'll talk about this in that class. For timing, just understand the program how it works. No need of going internally how memory works, how memory is going to store it. So I'm writing that employee list here, right? So see, we have all these classes or methods implemented in a employee class. We will have one main method here. I will have a class here that is main method, right? Main class where we'll have main method to run this, and I can show you the output, right? So first, from previously that by we have to access the method, we have to create an instance of the class. So I'm creating an instance of the class, right? So user instance is created. Let's say sys. So I'll print the output. Get employee. Like this. right? Get employee details. So when you call this get employee details method, when you call this get employee detail method, right, it will give you the detailed information. Get employee detail. This is the method, right? We'll pass the same ID first. No, first we'll do the positive thing. We'll pass the same ID, whatever I have mentioned it here. We'll pass this same ID here. Get employee detail by ID, right? So what it will return? It will return as a employee bin. We got a employee bin, right? So let's print this employee detail, right? Here, first let's print the employee name. Similarly, we'll print all the output here. How many property we have in employee bin? Have you observed? One, two, three, four, five. Five property we have, so we'll print all the five parameters here. For the A class in main method. Let me maximize this, huh? So employee name, then get employee ID, then get salary, then get employee. Right. One more is there. What is that? Department. Okay, it is only department. So get department. Right? Got this. So employee name, employee ID, employee salary, employee type, and what? The employee type is either it is permanent or contract, right? So we can do like this. Let's print that only. Okay. I thought of using ternary operator. Let's not make it that much of complex. Let's print either one or two, whatever it is coming, right? Let me run it. See, you got the output. Get employee details, employee name, Satyananda, employee ID, this, employee salary, this, that employee type is one, employee department is technology innovation. Right? So this is how you have seen, right? So now let's go and do something by Java, do something that is Java is famous for, right? That is interface way of calling the methods. So here, rather having the class variable type as AE employee, we will make it interface type. See, I made it interface type employee. Using employee interface type variable name and variable, I'm able to fetch all that methods because that is available inside the class. It is implemented inside the class. What I will do to show you one more thing, I will go to AE employee class and I will implement one more method. I will implement one more method is get employee. It's a age, and it is string. It's okay. Let it be string. No, everything can be handled by string. So I take 43. Employee not found. Fine. So here, if you see this method get employee is not available inside the employee interface. I don't have that method get employees inside the interface employee. Now that method is defined where? That method is defined in a employee class. That method we have in a employee class get employee is. So now we will try to fetch the output of that method. Now I'll put one more one more system.out.println. You get employees, I'll pass the same employee ID because it is expecting an employee ID to fetch the age. See, here, even if I put the employee ID and employee bin, it is showing error. This method is not visible or something to give. See, the method get employee age string is undefined for the type employee bin. Okay, sorry, it is fine, it is fine. I did something mistake. It's my bad. So let it comment it out here. Okay. Now, what method we faced? We faced the method get employee detail using a employee. Employee bin is the Java bin object. I did something. Yeah. So now this a employee is of type employee. Now using this a employee, I will try to fetch the age, not employee bin, because employee bin is not having age. And we have not added age in employee bin, I think so. Yeah. So let's say this a employee I took, I put it here, right? Fetch employee age. It's another method of a employee class, right? So now what it is showing, see here, the method get employee is undefined for the type employee. Now you identified for the type employee. What is the type of employee? Type of employee is the interface. It is undefined, right? Now what I will do, if I come to main method, rather it is making a employee, I'll make it a employee. See, the age is visible. I made this line number 6 a employee, and this method is visible. This method is visible, and it is fetching the age. Let me run and show you. The age is 43 plus 44. My age is 44, so let me put it at 44. Why give a false information? Yeah, but if you go to office documentation, yeah, it is 43. In document, it will be 43. Fine. So company will always go through the document, authentic document, right? So that's how it is. But anyway, for our personal life, we should always look into the actual age. What is our age, not the document. Document. Sometime during my time when we have taken the school admission, that time we don't never had a birth certificate. People used to have this. So anyway, let's not talk about that. Nowadays, everything is more stricter, and people are following proper rule and discipline. That time parents they also have some knowledge, they want to put a kid into school by defining age so that you get easily admission, right? So that's how it is. Here it is, yeah, so you see in main method we have not got any error. It displayed the output, right? It displayed the output employee age 43, right? Now what I will do here, I will show you first how to handle this kind of situation when when your interface is not having one method, but your class has defined that method and you want to use that method by creating a variable of interface type, right? So I created here interface type. Now again it came back to the error. So here what you can do, here always you can downcast. Here always you can downcast. So employee type is the supercast. A employee is always is a reference variable referring to the parent class or superclass or an interface. So what I will do, I will just downcast is to make this variable visible, right? I will just put it here the employee class name. See, the error is gone. See, initially what happened in line number six, I'm creating a variable of interface type. AE employee is a variable of interface type, and assigning an object of class that is new AE employee. And this new AE employee has a method get employee by age, right? Get employee by age. It has a method, and that get employee age. It has a method. AE employee has a method. That method is not available inside employee interface. So when you are creating an object using a interface type variable, that variable will be only able to see all these methods of the class that are available in that interface. And the methods which are not available on the interface, it will not be visible to that variable. This is decided during runtime. And this is called as your runtime polymorphism. That's it. So here see AE employee. So to access any methods which is only local to that class, it is not defined in interface, we need to downcast. What I did here, I downcasted AE employee and assigned AE employee within the bracket, and so inside that I kept the class name. By doing this, we are downcasting. And if you see this whole, now the whole is AE employee type variable. So get employees is visible and it can easily access the method and execute it, give us the output. So I'll show you by running it, see it is working. See, it is working, right? Some people, what they do, I have seen it in organization during development phase. When the people they are not aware of how to do it, some people, developers, I have seen what they do. Now I think people are more intelligent. They know how to handle the situation. But during our time, when we are, when I was like fresher or maybe 2 3 plus year of experience coding with my friends or juniors, that time what I have seen some of my colleagues or teammates what they do, they add this method get employees to the interface. See, get employees is specific to the AE employee. We should not add to it to interface. If you add it to the interface, then the value or worth of interface will change. So what all method should go to interface, we should know. If the method is class local, it should not be added to the interface because interface is a generic one. Whoever implement that, they have to implement the all the methods of that interface. Let's say B class doesn't here in our this situation B employee, right? B employee don't need that get employees. If I implement it in interface employee, then B employee will be forced to implement that, right? If I define that get employees in employee interface, then B employee will be forced to implement employees method. So we should not define the local methods to make it work in the interface, right? I'll show you by doing that also, but that is not the right approach. So you people should not, look into that approach in future or any other time. If you're working in a company, don't follow that approach. If that method is not visible, you know what you do, you implement it here, define it here in the interface, right? So that is the wrong way to do it. Don't do that, right? So this is what you do, employees. This is what you do, and what will happen. I will show you here in this main method. That error will go. That error will go. I will just do Control J to see you to show you that I am not doing anything else. See, I did Control J. the error is gone, right? There is no error. I run it, I get the output because that method is visible. That method is visible, right? Because it is defined in the interface. Now let's comment it out. What happened? Commented. Now this method is again not visible. This is defined inside the class, which is local to the class, not available in the interface. Run it. It will not work. You will get errors. It will not work. It is, see, main 18, undefined type of employee. So you have to always cast it, downcast it to make it work. I downcast 18 line number C and I run it. It will be visible. See, it is running now. So the best practice is if you have any local method inside the class and you want to use that, downcast your interface type variable to the class variable and use it. Never go and add that method into the interface. That is not the way to do it. Right. So people might have understand by this, how it is working, how this employee object. See, when you are creating new employee object, whatever method you have in that employee object, all this method will be available in your method stack. But while assessing, if it is an interface type variable, then whatever methods are available in that interface type, it will be available. If methods are not available in that interface type, then it will not be visible to the actual interface variable and you will not be able to call it or use it. You have to downcast. So remember this. This is a very important topic today. Today I will not eat your mind by telling you more. We'll end the session here. My next video will talk more about dynamic polymorphism or runtime polymorphism and more about, as I said about the constructor and other topic, it will talk about that. If you people want to know about me, myself, Satyananda Sahu, you can visit my LinkedIn profile as I told earlier in the previous class. I'll put my LinkedIn link there also, right? And the other thing is, these sessions are for students and for the fresher, those who don't know Java or programming language, any experienced professional, those are looking into this video. If you have any questions, any concerns, or you have any doubt, you want to understand anything, you can ping me, you can message me, or you can you can send to my mail ID. I will definitely help you out. Right? So definitely I will help you out. Anyway, this video was hidden today somewhere, that is fine. Otherwise, otherwise I have to drag it here or here or here or here. Somewhere I have to keep it. This is the good part of our life. Watching our own face sometimes makes us feel happy, right? So anyway, uh, those who are watching my video, go uh, try yourself this sample program and do different kind of program to see these features of Java and learn more. What I will do next session, I will go through this overriding concept and dynamic polymorphism more in depth and finish that. After that, we'll start constructor and then memory. Thank you, everyone.